need to get these problems solved.
I want you to meet a voter. This is Clara Smith from here in Columbia. She's got a question. She's undecided. She's leaning toward you, though, Governor.
Oh, good. If the question, make the question easy, would you?
Hi, Governor. Republicans receive a bad rap for being uninterested in the working poor. I'm a Republican, and I certainly have a heart for them. What would you, as president, do to help these people out that are working 2 or 3 jobs and can barely feed their children at home? They certainly adhere to the Republican principles of pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, but they're barely getting by.
Well, the one thing we want to make sure is they have health care, right? And that's a critical part for the working poor. But look, it all gets down to training and skills. And one of the things that we have to recognize in this country today is we have to have lifelong learning, and we have to keep training ourselves for the jobs that exist today and the jobs that exist tomorrow. But I've got to tell you, when you think about these working poor, especially if it's a woman and her husband walked out on her and she's got a couple kids, we've got to look at the child care. We've got to think about the child care tax credit. And we've got to get employers to begin to realize that, give this person a chance. Give them a chance to be able to move up, because if you get stuck, then it doesn't work. But one other thing I think we all need to realize. Look, I was involved in balancing the federal budget. I spent 10 years of my life to get there in Washington, fighting everybody, including Republicans, Democrats. I've always been a guy shaking up the system. And when we got there, we began to see significant job growth and opportunity for people. As governor, I went in. We had lost 350,000 jobs. Now we're up over 400,000 jobs, and our wages are growing faster than the national average in Ohio. So we need robust economic growth, because that helps everybody to rise. And how do you get it? Common sense regulations where you're not snuffing out small businesses, because they are the engine of job creation for some of these young people here. They're going to create more jobs than the big companies. Secondly, we need to have tax cuts for businesses and for individuals, because that spurs economic growth. And finally, we got $19 trillion in debt. We need to move to get this budget under control. Those 3 things, coupled with one other thing, and that is to get people trained for the jobs that exist today and tomorrow, and that's called workforce. You get those 3 things done, though, at the top: regulatory reform, common sense, lower taxes, business and people, and balancing a budget, you will see an explosion. And when I was in Washington, we saw the country's job picture explode, and the same in Ohio. And what I want to do is just take that formula that works and take it back. And we know what it works, but you have to have discipline to carry it out. Okay? But we have to be sensitive to the folks that are really in a tough spot, working 2 jobs. Think about that mother gets up early in the morning, gets the kids off to school, goes to work, comes home, makes dinner. They're the heroes. These single women with children are the real heroes in America, in my opinion. So
thank you for your question.
Thank you for the question.